Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hopefully you can hear me. Testing, testing, testing. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. We got to get back to it. Good morning again. We got to get back to it. I said we were going to come out here and make sure that let's call it take a look at Gen Z. Okay. Maybe I may have it wrong, y'all. Okay. Sometimes I might not get it right. Let me let the music. Is it on? Oh, it is on. Let me change it. I feel like I need background music now. Anyway, so we got to get back to it and see if we can figure out what's wrong with Generation Z. Maybe it's us, Generation X. Maybe it's us. Good morning to Coolie Cat. I see you. I appreciate you. 9x9, I appreciate you. Lawrence, I appreciate you. And everyone else that is here, hit the like button for me wherever you're watching. We're on everywhere. We're on Generation X channel, Messy Michonne Live channel, Instagram. Child, one more place. I can't think of what it is. Somebody told me I need to get on Kick, but I don't know if I need to get on Kick. Good morning, Trey. I don't know. I got to figure that out. But anyway, so yeah, early morning. I'm going to do early mornings on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays because those are the days that I am home. And I come in from the gym and I got time. So let's go ahead and take a look. So I got a couple of videos, of course. But just for the regulars on live, I'm going to be on tonight at 6 p.m. because it looks like we need to talk about Nolan Wells again. And a couple of other things. I'm not going to do that crazy thing with the EDP person probably until the weekend because I just don't think I have the stomach. Shout out to CGA. I just don't think I have the stomach to be able to do it at night and then go to bed. I just don't think I have it in me. So Saturday or Sunday morning is when we'll probably get that one done, which looks like it's going to be a minute as well. So just FYI. Am I blaring? Okay. Because I'm just changing. I'm trying to work the sound machine. Is that better? Did you hear that? Is that better? Testing. Is that better? I'm still trying to figure out the sound machine. I reset the whole thing. Hey, boo, how are you? We still here, child. We still here. Let me know if that's better, LS, because I turned it down a little bit. I'm learning how to use this thing now that I need it, right? So I reset it. Let me know if you hear that. Let me know what I sound like. I appreciate you. But we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. Good morning, legend. Shout out to all of y'all that are here. Hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new. Now, I'm pretty sure that this is a Generation Z couple. I'll let y'all tell me for sure. It looks like Krishan and Blueface are back together. In case anybody was wondering, in case anybody was worried about them, toxicity seems to be a way of Generation Z. Now, that's not me saying that people in other generations haven't done some crap, okay? No one is saying that whatsoever. But the amount of toxicity, let me see. Now I'm just learning how to do this, so give me a second. I know this is the microphone. Let me push it away from me. I don't know if that's going to help because I can't figure this out right now. I am not that well versed with this, unfortunately. But shout out to you for knowing this type of stuff. Hold on a second. No. No. All right, no, I'm sorry. So I'll try to talk softer. I don't know if that's going to make a difference. And move away from the microphone. So hopefully I'm not blaring in your ear too much. All right. Messy, you're correct. My daughter, 32, and her child's father live that toxic-ish. I think they're millennials. I think they are millennials, but they're close enough. But let's hear what's going on here. So it says, no, she didn't. Krishan Rock says she and Blueface are bigger than Jay-Z and Beyonce as they celebrate getting back together. All right, cool. Thank you. I'll still stay this far away, and hopefully that helps. Good morning, Young Reyes. Shout out to all of y'all. I see you, RB, and hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new. Let's see what happened.
Jay and Beyonce, and no shade to them. We love them, but you know this out shit. Or you don't agree?
Like that.
You don't agree?
Like that tea.
You don't agree?
You are spitting right
now.
You
don't agree?
You are really spitting right now.
You don't agree? So you agree?
I am proud of
All right, come on.
You are really spitting.
No, do it.
You are spitting.
Do it. Okay, let's chat.
What you mean?
Chat. You know who we is? We bigger than Jay and Beyonce, and no shade to them. We love them, but you know this out shit. Or you don't agree?
Like that.
You don't agree?
Like that tea.
You don't agree?
You are spitting right
You
now.
don't agree?
You are really spitting right now.
You don't agree? So you agree?
I am proud of
All right, come on.
You are really spitting.
No, do it.
You are spitting.
Do it. Okay, let's chat.
What you mean?
Chat. You know who
isn't spinning? Okay. This is what I was thinking. If he keeps saying you are really spinning, I don't think that's a positive. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's alcohol. Okay, let's just go ahead and assume that it's alcohol. But look at how well they just get back together. Now, mind you, he has a pregnant girlfriend. I'm sorry, he has another pregnant woman that was his girlfriend that was living with him, but now clearly she's out. Her name is Nivea, I think. Then remember, there's a girl who said she was pregnant by him and said all she wanted is the money. Remember, she was wilding out. So there's a potential of two other women that I am aware of. One definitely pregnant, one allegedly pregnant, and now he wants to get back, or they want to get back together, right? All right, cool. Krishan is 26. I'm not sure how old Blueface is, but he ain't much more than 30 years old if he's 30. And these two are back together, okay? And then don't forget Jaden Alexis, who is the mother of his two kids. Shout out to Generation Z.
Beyonce. And I know for a fact.
What you know?
That you know that you love me. You treat everybody like shit because you're not with the person you want to be with. And that's fine. You know why? Because, I'm just praying for you. Like, I'm going to get him. The only thing you do is like, okay, fake this on the baby. But I know that's a cry out for help because I'm not making the effort to like put the baby in a position where you like, I start being a little. I know for a fact.
What you know?
That you know that you love me. You treat everybody like shit because you're not with the person you want to be with. And that's fine. You know why?
Did you hear her logic right there? Gracious greatness. I appreciate that. Got to keep going, child. So this is another reason why I can't subscribe to these younger people who can't work. That's why I can't subscribe to it. You got to do what you got to do, right? I just enjoy doing this. But other people that need to do something in order to get their lives together, they have no excuse. Thank you so much for being here, Boo. Pooh Man, you don't need to know any of these people. Trust me when I tell you, your life will be fine without knowing any of these people. If I wasn't on this internet, I wouldn't know these people either, except for Blueface because of one song. How old is Tatiana? I think it's called Tatiana. How old is that song? That got to be like 10 years old, and he riding away from that song. Now he's reality. But she said he treats all the rest of them women like ish because he really wanted to be with her. And he just starts laughing. And it's like, so you're going to, in your mind, replay everything that you know that he did to you, what you've seen him do to these other women, what you've seen him do to his baby mom, but because of him doing all that, that means he loves you. Because he really wanted to be with you. Because all the people that always said, she'll grow up, she'll learn, and then they broke up. And then everybody was like, basically, see. And in my mind, I'm like, because there's only one way that these two are ever going to end this relationship. And I'm not going to say it, but this is what I've said before. This is what I've said before. You, the regulars know. These people are not. There's only one way for this relationship to end. Okay. Besides the fact that, remember, just know that, Pooh Man, even though you don't know who these women are, I can just think of 4 off the top of my head that if he decides to go back, they're going to go there. So for all the women that try to act like it's the men are the problem, and trust me, Blueface is a problem. Let me not absolve him because he's crazy, right? But these women go back. These women go back. This shows how desperate women are. And for all the women that say that men aren't the prize, well, I don't think Blueface is a prize personally, but clearly they do. And these are all people who are basically 30 and under. I believe that would be Generation Z. And then they watch this stuff. This is blogs. They watch blogs and reality TV.
Because, I'm just praying for you. Like, I'm going to get her. No.
He said, do I treat you like shit? And she said, no. She turned right into a baby right there, right? Did you hear that? No. As rough and tough as this girl be acting.
So what?
New heart, new mind, fresh faith. New beginnings with the person I really love.
So what?
New heart, new mind, fresh faith. New beginnings with the person I really love.
Aww.
So what?
Can I get this from you? Take your time. First time.
So allegedly that's Blueface's baby. There's definitely something wrong with that baby, even though we already knew that when we saw her when she was pregnant. Child, we left this story a long time ago, but because we're talking Generation Z, this is an example of Generation Z. Good morning to HMG. Thank you so much, Boo. I appreciate you. Good morning to Aliyah. Hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are normal. So yeah, so this is the type of relationship that Generation Z does. And they'll say, not me, not me. Okay, well, maybe not you, but enough for you. And again, women will go back. Women will always go back. If you were watching the Ask a Brother last night and we were talking about Lacey something, whatever that lady was that deleted her 3 kids, right? And they said that the father went on to his next relationship. Of course he went on to his next relationship. Now, personally, if I met a man and he said, yeah, my wife deleted our 3 kids and I'm back out here in these streets, I'd be like, you know what? Thanks for the drink. Have a nice day. Some woman said, yeah, that's the man for me, child. So you're in a relationship and everybody wilding out about that. Like, okay. But anyway, shout out to Generation Z. Let's go over here to Good Morning America, where it says bosses say helicopter parenting now extends into the workplace. So we have heard before that Generation Z were taking their parents to their job interviews, which is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. Because if you can't go get the job on your own, how are you going to do the job on your own? Is your parent going to come and do the job for you? So maybe you all, Generation Z, if you're here, you hear this, maybe you do need your parents as much as y'all get on the internet and talk negatively about them.
We're going to go now to the helicopter parents who hover over their kids' daily activities in and out of school. Well, some are now taking it a step further into the job market, reaching out to recruiters and bosses on their children's behalf. I already see the reaction.
Let me guess that I'm okay.
Yeah. It's a story we first saw in the Wall Street Journal. Don't incriminate yourself, Lara.
No.
Has more for us. Good morning.
Good morning. I definitely have some helicopter parenting tendencies, but this is a little extreme.
Yeah.
These parents may think they're helping their kids launch into adulthood, but the people we spoke with say the impact their interference is having may be doing more harm than good.
Yes.
Stephen Clark says he hired a 22-year-old to work, but after finishing a few days of safety training, he was a no-show. So Clark fired him.
22 years old. He hired. So the Z got the job at 22. And if it changes to A, let me know. But I feel like A's might be under 18. But Hired at 22, didn't show up for the job. Woo! I guess they had the Sunday scaries or something. G-Dubs, thank you for the gold coin. I see you. I appreciate you. Crazy stuff, y'all. Crazy stuff.
Interference is having maybe doing more harm than good.
Yes.
Stephen Clark says he hired a 22-year-old to work, but after finishing a few days of safety training, he was a no-show. So Clark fired him. Then his phone rang.
Within 2 hours.
Oh, my bad. He got fired. That's a good reason to be fired, though. That's a good reason to be fired. Do I believe Gen Z is clouded due to Gen X caring for their parents too much? Do you believe Gen Z is clouded due to Gen X caring for their parents too much? I don't know what that means. I say what I think it is. These people want to do what they want to do when they want to do it, and they think they're entitled. They're narcissists, and they don't want to do anything because they want to be on the phone and be on the internet. That's it. That's all.
He was a no-show. So Clark fired him. Then his phone rang.
Within 2 hours, his mother called me and proceeded to try to convince me to rehire him.
Despite Clark declining, Mom continued to email him for the next 6 weeks over a dozen times. It's a problem he says he's seeing more frequently.
Why didn't my son or daughter get a job offer? They're much more involved with their offspring's employment searches than they probably should be.
Lynn Alba runs hiring for Long Island Health System and says calls from parents are coming in several times a week.
When I get the phone call, it's...
Yo, are you listening to this? Yo, are you listening to this? This is wild.
More frequently.
Why didn't my son or daughter get a job offer? They're much more involved with their offspring's employment searches than they probably should be.
Lynn Alba runs hiring for Long Island Health System and says calls from parents are coming in several times a week.
When I get the phone call, it's, can I speak to the candidate? Most of the time, the candidate is not there.
A mom of four, Alba says that while it's okay to coach your kids through their job hunt, there are limits.
You can help coach from the sideline, but you can't step on the field, right?
The anxiety for parents is understandable. Unemployment for recent college graduates hit 5.7% this year, higher than the national average, with more than 4 in 10 now working jobs that don't require a degree. Rick Wainshull at Data 4 says his youngest daughter was working at the front desk of a hotel and unsure of what she wanted to do next. So he decided to intervene by publishing a post on LinkedIn, asking his professional network to help her.
When I did the LinkedIn post, it was really in an effort to give her a chance to talk to people that I know who are willing to step up and...
Sir, why didn't you tell her to do that? Sir, why didn't you tell her to do that? Yeah, he got a bigger influence. He probably has more access to more senior level people. So then that tells me that you're basically going to set her up for failure later, because if you have to drag her at this point to get her a job and get influence, what if something happens to you, then what's she going to do? These people don't seem to want to teach their kids how to survive on their own. That's what I'm hearing. Robbie Rose, thank you for the comment. He said, I work in a call center for a company who hires lots of college kids in another capacity. I get calls from parents all the time wanting updates on job progress. Like what? Then they want to get all like what? The information? Oh, full of an attitude with me when I basically tell them it's none of their business. This is wild. This is crazy. Coolie Cat, that answers your question right there. Yeah, they're treating them like babies. And this person right here, he definitely X or maybe even a baby boomer. Dude, you know better. Are you that desperate to get your kids out? You must want them out the house, child, because none of this makes any sense. This is setting them up for failure. They don't know how to do anything on their own. That explains a lot. A.R. Smitty in the building. Thank you so much for your generosity, sir. He said, you've been on fire, Messi. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Shout out to you. Shout out to all of y'all. Hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are normal. Thanks again so much, honey. I appreciate you. Leonard, thank you for the silver star. I appreciate you. And thank you for the 100 jewels. Shout out to you. Good morning, y'all. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are.
have that kind of career conversation with her.
But he cautiously suggests there are limits to what he's willing to do.
The thought of sitting in on a job interview or, calling in sick for her or anything. No.
Recruiters say parents can absolutely help their kids prepare, review a resume, do a mock interview around the kitchen table. But when it comes to reaching out to an employer, let your child make that call. And the dad that we spoke with says it was his daughter's talent and hard work that landed her the job. He says she didn't really need his assistance. So I get it. You want to help as much as you can, but
It's
calling,
the opposite
calling the
of
employer
help, ultimately.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, my mom called Disney ABC.
She got you here, right?
She got me a job.
So it works for some, apparently.
It works for some. That's right.
Child, please. That's funny though. Shout out to Michael Strahan, but wow, that's wild, y'all. If any of y'all doing this for your kids, good luck. Okay, they never leaving home. They never leaving home. Our job is to teach them how to handle crap when they get out there in the damn world. So it's like from one extreme to the other. There's parents that aren't doing anything with their kids at all. Then there's the parents that are doing everything for their kids. So where's the middle ground? Where's the middle ground? Shelly, thank you so much for the Cash App hunt. She said for just retired in the ATL, not on social media. Love the show. Thank you so much, hon. I appreciate you. Don't be on social media. You all are missing nothing. It's really, you know, sometimes I do a lot of subjects on my main channel and it's like, I got to get away from this because it's too much. It's too depressing. And then we'll move on to something like this. This is fun, more fun than some of the other things that I do. Sometimes you just got to take a break. Sometimes you just have to take a break. Leonard said the parents have turned into Mr. Rooney Bueller. Good morning, Tadisha. Hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new. And the non-helicopter parents are the bad parents because we don't care, allegedly. I'm a F around and find out parent. You and me both. I done taught you all that I can. It's time for you to get on out there and get it done. But if you have questions, you can always come and ask me, but I'm not doing the work for you. That is not good parenting in my opinion. Let's go over to the top. See how much we can get through. I got two other videos after this, but I wanted to make sure I get to TikTok. Because, shout out to Shelly. I can't. She just sent me another Cash App. She said for a 62-year-old white supremacist here, laugh out loud in the first grade. I'm not sure what that part means, but thank you so much. That's crazy. That's funny. You so crazy. Y'all so crazy. Shout out to y'all. I see you. I appreciate you. More Generation Z conversation here. Let's see what they're saying.
Got the worst possible fucking news ever.
Oh no.
I was supposed to be moving down to Tampa in 3 days. I got my dream job. I found a beautiful apartment. And I was set to be down there on Thursday, and I received a email stating that because I submitted my documentation later than they would have liked.
You hear this, right? You hear this, right?
On Thursday, and I received a email stating that because I submitted my documentation later than they would have liked, they're revoking my hiring process. So now I don't have a job there. A lot of you guys are asking why I didn't submit the paperwork. The paperwork that you're thinking of is like basic shit. Obviously, I submitted that. And when I was given this initial form, I filled it all out and I sent it back. And then they sent it back to me and was like, oh, you missed a couple spots. So I sent it again and then I sent it back and then they were like, oh, you need to get this notarized. And I was like, what the fuck does that even mean? I signed it off. I sent it back again. They're like, no, like this isn't notarized and you need to get it notarized. And I was like, what the fuck does that even mean? So I look it up. By this point, this is last week and I was in Florida looking for apartments. I strictly went down there to look for apartments and nothing else. So I did not have the time to do it. And then the weekend came, all the places to go to are closed. And then come Monday, I went and got it notarized and sent it. And they were like, it's too late.
Follow instructions, meet deadlines, be a problem solver. This quote unquote.
Thank you, ma'am, but no. We're gonna listen to this again. You know why I let it play to not interrupt? Because this shows and proves yet again what the damn problem is. Kevin, thank you so much for the girl power. Not girl power, Jules. I appreciate you. These people want to do what they want to do, when they want to do it, how they want to do it, and everyone else is supposed to accept that. They don't want to follow rules. They don't want to follow directions, and they think that whatever time that they decide that they want to show up, whatever time they want to do something, whenever they feel like answering you as the boss, whenever they feel like doing the work that they're being paid to do. Remember, these are people that think they should be paid millions of dollars, and they don't even know what notarized means, which is fine. You might not know. So you telling me you can get on here and make a TikTok video, but you couldn't get in it and go into Google, go into ChatGPT and say, what does notarized mean? So that's what you're really telling me? And you all think that you're worth $1 million a year? You can't even look up words. I told y'all many a times, these people just be using words. They do not even know what they're talking about. They do not even know what they're talking about. I listen, proof positive. She said this is her dream job, and it wasn't important enough for her to do what she needed to do. She didn't follow directions either. If she sent the paperwork in and then they had to turn around and say, you did this wrong, girl, strike number one. And that's a big strike. Like the lady was saying, you don't even pay attention to detail. You don't even do things right for you. Why do I think that you're going to do things right for me? Wow. Wow. But these are the people that are saying that it's somebody else's fault that they don't have work. It's the economy. No, it's you all. It's absolutely you all. She should be ashamed to put this on the internet. But because there is no shame, and these people are narcissists, and they think they do no wrong, they shit don't stink, that they willingly are putting this on the internet like they are the put upon person.
I was supposed to be moving down to Tampa in 3 days. 3 days. I got my dream job. I found a beautiful apartment, and I was set to be down there on Thursday. And I received a email stating that because I submitted my documentation later than they would have liked,
Listen to what she just said. I submitted my paperwork later than they would like. So that means she missed a deadline. That means she missed a deadline. So if you're missing a deadline before you even get here, she definitely ain't going to be making no deadlines once she gets the job. This is before she's even started. She's missing deadlines. You think she understands that?
Revoking my hiring process. So now I don't have a job there. A lot of you guys are asking why I didn't submit the paperwork. The paperwork that you're thinking of is like basic shit. Obviously, I submitted that. And when I was given this initial form, I filled it all out and I sent it back. And
which means she didn't read it. If she says she filled out all the paperwork and sent it back and they said, ma'am, you didn't get it notarized or you missed a few spots, she didn't read it. They don't pay attention. Too busy ready to get back on the internet to see what's going on the talk.
Then they sent it back to me and was like, oh, you missed a couple spots. So I sent it again and then I sent it.
You missed a couple spots. You missed a couple spots. That's them being nice, child.
Back, and then they were like, oh, you need to get this notarized. And I was like, what the fuck does that even mean? I signed it off.
That means that you are a childish child who wants to do what you want to do. And you need someone to tell you what to do. That's why you need to go work at McDonald's and drop fries. Because you need someone to tell you what to do. Even though they think they don't need anyone to tell them what to do.
If I send it back again, they're like, no, like this isn't notarized and you need to get it notarized. And I was like, what the fuck does that even mean? So I look it up. By this point,
I hope she didn't say that to them. Listen, it wouldn't surprise me if she said to them, what does notarized mean? It wouldn't surprise me.
This is last week, and I was in Florida looking for apartments. I strictly went down there.
Excuse after excuse after excuse. And notaries are open on the weekend. They may be private and they probably cost more, but notaries work every day.
To look for apartments and nothing else. So I did not have the time to do it. And then the weekend came. All the places to go to are closed. And then come Monday, I went and got it notarized and sent it. And they were like, it's too late.
Follow instructions.
You can't make it up. You cannot make this ish up. Wild.
Now, I just read an article that stated that bosses are firing their Gen Z grads at an alarming rate shortly after bringing them on board once they have graduated college. And the video that I watched done on the article was blaming the teachers for these young adults not being able to show up on time and meet deadlines and dress and communicate professionally. This is not a teacher problem. This is a parenting problem.
Which is why teachers are quitting.
Teacher has never taught me how to conduct myself as a professional on a job. Those are things that my parents taught me as a young adult. And the reason why these young adults, these Gen Z grads, are having such a hard time is because they lack guidance from their parents. Parents are not parenting like they used to.
I don't disagree with her. Again, it's extreme on one side, it's extreme on the other side. But why didn't that girl in the last video go ask her mom or dad, what the heck does notarize mean? She looked like she got, I'm going stereotyping, she looked like she probably got both of them in her life. Why didn't you just call them and ask them? No? All right. And then, anyway, Shelly, thank you for another Cash App. She said, for Live Through Jim Crow, he did. Goodbye. I cannot. Shout out to Shelly. I appreciate you.
The reason why Gen X and the earlier millennials did not deal with this issue because we did not walk onto workplaces, on jobs, thinking that we were bigger than the program. A lot of these Gen Z grads are thinking that they're bigger than the program straight out of college.
Yeah.
This is not the way the world works, a job works, or especially corporate America.
I got let go for poor communication on a project that I literally flagged 3 times. I told my manager in our one-on-one that this timeline was unrealistic, but she didn't care. I brought it up in the team stand-up. I even mentioned it in a cross-functional sync. And when the project fell apart, they pointed at me. They said that I failed to escalate. Are you serious? Here's the worst part. They deactivated my email and Teams access the same day, so I couldn't go back and pull any message, any thread, nothing. All of my proof was locked in their system. So they...
Girl, goodbye. This is how firing works. You get no more access.
They could do this. They could just blame it on me.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I have been using playbacks for months. And it recorded every single meeting I was in.
So she was recording meetings at work. This is what I'm hearing. You're recording meetings at work.
Stand up, every one-on-one, every sync, full summaries, timestamps. Who said what, when, all saved on my end, not theirs, through a personal account. So when I filed my dispute, I had everything. Every time I flagged that project, documented with dates, the app kept it all. Literally, this is why you need to protect yourself, because your company will cut access before you even have a chance to defend yourself. Don't
listen to this person. Any Generation Z that's listening to this, don't listen to this person. You can go record yourself and the job and what they're saying all you want to, okay? If they sue your ass and you go to jail or you be broke, good luck to ya. Because one, it's proprietary information what goes on inside these damn jobs. If you want to start taking notes of things, which is what you should do if you think something is wrong, you write it down and you keep record of it. You do not go into somebody else's establishment recording them. And she put this out on the internet. These are the people that think that they deserve $1 million a year. $1 million, depending on where she lives, you got to get consent on both sides in order to record, depending on where you live. But you definitely can't go into a corporation's establishment and start recording. They're sitting up there talking about, well, we made this over in the first quarter and whatever. We shouldn't have done this, but we did it. And you're out here recording that shit. These are the people that think that, oh my God, this is crazy. And then you get on this internet, you got to get this. This shows and proves that their importance is being seen and attention on TikTok and probably Twitter.
All I'm saying, all y'all millennials and Gen Xers that swear up and down that Gen Z is lazy, make sure y'all stand behind that. Because when it's us 10, 15, 20 years down the line in the workplace, make sure that 401k is stacked. Make sure you don't have to come to work. Because revenge is up. All I'm saying...
This is what they worried about. Instead of getting their lives started, they worried about revenge.
He's lazy. Make sure y'all stand.
They were not lying. You guys have.
Let me say that I'm standing by. Y'all are lazy, and after today, I might say y'all crazy too.
Seen those articles talking about how Gen Z is being fired at a disproportionate rate. It's true. I'm saying that as somebody who has hired and fired a number of people over the last couple of years. It really does come down to a lot of things that in these articles. Lack of motivation, professionalism, and lack of initiative are making a decision. And I know what you're going to say because I've seen the comments. Right? Well, they're not paying me to do extra. They're not paying me to take initiative.
Funny how we just saw the dude say that exact same thing yesterday.
Okay, initiative is not going above and beyond. That's different. Taking initiative is, if you're given a task, proactively think of the steps that you need to do to get that task accomplished. If I were to boil it down into one thing, initiative is understanding that you are being paid for an output or an outcome, not effort. Let me say it again, cleaner, okay? They are not paying you for effort. They're paying you for an output or an outcome. I don't care what your job is, I guarantee you that is what they've had to demonstrate to even hire for that role. The sooner you can figure that out, better, more efficient you are at doing it, is how you not only keep your job, but get promoted. Those who can't figure that out are the ones who are losing their jobs. This is not just Gen Z, it's in general, but I'm seeing a lot of Gen Z in the comments. Well, they're not paying me for that. Paying me for being here. They're paying me for showing up. That's all I'm required to do. No.
Paying you to show up. So they think that these jobs are paying for them just to, wow. Wow. Interesting. This is interesting.
You look at a job description, there's specific outcomes, jobs to be done that you were hired for. Those jobs are paying you for, not how hard you work, how long you sit there, how much effort you put in. You're being paid for an outcome. And I'll tell you a little secret. Faster you can get to the outcome, the freaking better for you and them. But that's the difference between those who are keeping their jobs and those who are struggling to keep their jobs. And how do you do it with a decent attitude?
There are multiple Gen Zers who have gone viral recently talking about how they got fired from their jobs. And a couple of them have been because they didn't complete the paperwork required by their job before they started working. And the other one was a girl who talked about how she was late on her first day of work and then late on her second day and she got fired. And as a high school teacher, like, I can't laugh, I can't smirk. All I can think about is genuinely how far we've come away from what used to be the norm and what used to be personal responsibility. And I'm in awe. I truly am. Because these are things that, again, teachers come on this app and tell you guys, this is what we are seeing in the classroom. And
yo, if these people also went to college and they still can't fill out paperwork and put things together on time and know what a notary is, college would be a waste of time. I hope that girl was not a college graduate. They should revoke that company. They should be suspended. The college should be suspended. That's crazy.
It feels like we're just like yelling into a chamber that nobody listens to, because I don't know what is going to be that's going to get us to the point to, as a society, to realize like there's serious damage going on, but like the lack of personal responsibility, the lack of accountability. And everybody likes to hop on this app and talk about accountability, but you don't actually understand what accountability is at this point. And discipline.
Because they don't know what words mean. Just be using words, child.
Like, kids need to experience these things because they're coming out into the real world and then they're doing stuff like this, like not submitting paperwork that you need to submit in a real job. Then coming on this app wondering why they got fired or thinking that them getting fired was unfair. Like, I hate to say it, but I'm starting to agree with boomers sometimes. Like, yeah, you should be especially early to work, especially on your first week. And being responsible is part of being an adult. And like, I understand people making mistakes, but it's a whole nother thing to come on this app and defend this.
They're saying you have to go on the same day that you start your brand new job. No.
But there was literally nothing I could do about it. I get there 30 minutes late. Today, I was...
Bro, what? Goodbye. I'm about to shut this shit down. Now that I got there 30 minutes late.
Running 5 minutes late.
So first she says there was nothing I could do about the fact that I was 30 minutes late for my first day at a new job because I had to go to the DMV. No, you could have rescheduled it. That's number one. Number two, she was 5 minutes late at least. According to her, it was 5 minutes. Could have been more. On her second day of work. And now she's going to tell us why that wasn't her fault.
I'll apologize. It's not their business, but I was literally...
Then she goes on to say, I didn't feel like I even needed to send a text message because it's not their business why I'm late.
in pain on my period. I was really like, took me a long time.
Look, I get it. I was not a good employee when I was a young person. And you know what I did about that?
I became a stripper.
Now, am I recommending that? No. And there's a whole downside to being a stripper too. And I'm sure you could fathom that. I digress. Saying you have to go on the same day that you start your brand new job. No.
But there was literally nothing I could do about it. I get there 30 minutes late. Today, I was running 5 minutes late.
So first she says there was nothing I could do about the fact that I was 30 minutes late for my first day at a new job because I had to go to the DMV. No, you could have rescheduled it. That's number one. Number two, she was 5 minutes late at least.
There's a number of videos going around right now talking about this article from Fortune magazine published in January of last year. All the reasons why Gen Z is being fired at alarming rates. Now, I don't want to talk about why this checks out. What I do want to talk about is the number one reason that's been attributed to this, which is a lack of initiative. When I go into the comment sections of these videos, I see a lot of comments like this. Initiative costs more money. Love how jobs want you to go above and beyond, but won't even pay a living wage or go above and beyond for you as a worker. Fair enough. What I do see in a lot of these comments is a lack of understanding of what is meant by initiative. So I wanted to offer you a very real and simple example of what initiative looks like so that you understand what's getting people fired and what's getting people promoted.
All right, let me go over here since she's talking about that to this dude doing a video on this lady right here. So Ralph Durand on the 3,500 subscribers approximately, and he says she's mad because her job won't give her more time off. You cannot make it up.
All right, so in this video we have a woman here who works from home, yet she still wants to quit her job. So let's see what she got to say so we can find out why.
Story time on why I quit my job and why I don't think I'm ever going to work for another establishment again.
Okay.
So I work from home. I'm not going to say the company, but I work from home. And I asked my supervisor, hey, what do you guys offer for bereavement? She says, we give 7 days of bereavement, et cetera, et cetera. I explained to her the situation that I'm traveling from Connecticut to Florida and, whatever. So I told her, like, all right, let me just use the 5 days first because I don't want to use the whole 7 and then later I might need, more bereavement. So I said, let me use the 5 days and then I have my 2 days off. That should, that should be doable. But, when you're planning funerals and you have family matters and legal matters and grieving and everything on top of that, you just never know, right? So close to the end of the trip, I'm telling her, like, hey, like, is it possible that we could just use my vacation time for like an extra couple days? She says, oh, there's no allowance for Friday and Saturday. Basically, this job, you have to have hours on the calendar where employees can take off. They're using my vacation time. I need allowance for certain days to take it off. She's like, there's no allowance. I said, okay, well, can I just use the extra 2 days bereavement? Her response basically was like, why? Why do I need to re-explain to you again bereavement and what I need the extra 2 days for? And then it's like, okay, bereavement, the company gives us their time. I asked to use my time. You're not giving me no options. You're not telling me like, okay, look, this is what you can do. You're just telling me no. And it's like, as a supervisor, if you see
that's your option, no.
See that I'm asking for more days, and if there's any options here, you should tell me like, hey, this is your options. This is what you can do. This is what you can't do. You're not even trying to help or say nothing. You're just straight telling me no. And my thing is, why can't I use the extra 2 days bereavement if you guys give me 7 to begin with? So because I didn't say 7 up front, I can't get it. Y'all, I'm not going back to that job. I'm about to sit here and let you guys treat me like a robot. Y'all jobs need call center employees. Y'all need us. I don't need you.
Y'all, the call center employees need them. They don't need the call center employees. So you know what they'll do with call centers, right? You know what they're going to do with call center jobs, right? And then people will get mad again and say that every time they call, there's somebody on the phone that I can't understand.
Actually, you do need them because you need a job. See, the thing is, they can replace you, right? It's not that. It's a call center job. And not only that, but you work from home. Like, you work from home. And you know what's crazy is like, okay, it's been a while since I worked for, corporate America, work for anyone. I usually thought you get like 3 days. Like 7 days is a lot. Like,
honestly, it really is a lot. It really is a lot. So why wouldn't she just go ahead and just take the damn time? She trying to talk her way through on what she needs. Listen, you asked the question, they gave you the answer. That's it. That's all.
Start your own thing.
There's a million jobs out here. You walk down the street, every job is most likely hiring. I'm going to say,
wait, now it's millions of jobs out here? I thought they said they couldn't find a job. I thought they said nobody is hiring. Now all of a sudden there's millions of jobs out here.
And kill myself for y'all ungrateful ass companies. Like, these companies really do not give a damn about you. And I've worked since I was 16 years old.
Like I said, I don't know why these people think anybody cares about them. They need somebody to care and love them or something. It's weird.
And I'm 27 now, and
why do people keep mentioning how long they work? I worked since I was 16. I worked since I was 14. Like, who cares? What does that matter? Like, you worked since you.
She should know better at 27. I'm gonna say that she should know better at this point at 27 years old. So she just childish. That's all.
A cookie? It's crazy.
I'm learning now that I'm not about to let a job kill me, bro. Like, yes, this economy, you need a job. Yes, you know, sometimes you got to deal with shit that you don't want to deal with. But at the end of the day, if a family passes away or if you have bereavement or whatever, if you need to take time off, why are you telling me no? That's my whole thing about it. Like, if I'm trying to use my earned vacation time and you're telling me no, why do you get to control when I can take a breather, when I can grieve?
Why do you get to control me when you pay me for what I do? How dare you tell me what to do when you're the boss? How dare you tell me that I can't take time off when it's customer service and you need to be here? How dare you?
When I can do anything.
No, you can't do anything.
And also with this job, I'm on a 120-day attendance probation, but I'm on 90 days probation. So I passed 90 days probation, but I'm still on probation for my attendance. And basically I got told, like, if you miss another day or else, pretty much. The 2 days I missed during my first 90 days, it was for like doctor's appointments or something like that. If I work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 or 8 to 5, when am I going to have time to take care of my body, my health? Like, I'm telling you, y'all do not kill yourselves for these jobs out here. They do not care about you, bro. So
I agree. Don't, girl. Just stay home.
From the time being, I am unemployed somewhat. But if you know me, you know I always figure it out. I always got a way. And as long as I got a car, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to get up, go do Lyft, go do DoorDash, go do whatever I can do to make money. This is not stopping nothing. Mwah, fuck that job.
Yo, you be wondering why these chicks be unemployed, bro. Like, these jobs are just like, y'all don't want to deal with this. Yo, they got imagine that.
You mean that the jobs don't want to deal with y'all, the dudes don't want to deal with y'all, but everybody else is the problem?
Her future employer gonna be looking at this video like, yo, yeah, she gonna be a problem, yo. Like, she gonna be a headache. I think we're gonna have to skip that. Like, we don't even.
You know what she's gonna say? She's gonna say that you gentlemen are broke because y'all won't give her $10 million or take her out on $500 dates. Y'all be the problem. Lord help your people. This is crazy. Nothing we didn't know, but like I said, these people can't shut up for nothing, so they're always gonna tell on themselves. Shout out to that dude. This is somebody named Stan's Thoughts. Excuse me, just 1,000, a little bit over 1,000 on the tube. He says Gen Z is too tired to care anymore, and you can't blame us. Oh, okay. So is he included? We'll see.
Most burnt out generation.
98% of Gen Z feels burned out by their work.
Our whole generation is burned out because of the lack of progress. Burnout is not about effort, it's about betrayal.
So where do we start from? Because I don't think people understand how strange it feels to be exhausted by a life you have barely even started. Not tired after one long day, or because you stayed up too late, because by all metrics and statistics, our generation is less likely to stay up all night drinking or partying. This isn't that something I did on a weekend type of exhaustion. And worse still, it's not the type of exhaustion a nap or one motivational podcast can fix.
I just realized it doesn't matter how early I go to sleep. I just don't want to go to work.
I'm tired of feeling burnt out, working 2 jobs. I don't have no time for hobbies. Like, literally, it's work, home, finding time to sleep, 4 hours of sleep, little cat nap for an hour and a half. And then when you're at the second job, the main job, actually, you're just like a zombie.
And the confusing part is that on paper, we are still young. We are supposed to have energy, be ambitious. This is meant to be the stage of life where we build, experiment, make mistakes, recover quickly, take risks, and slowly become the people we imagined we would be.
A lot of Gen Z's grandparents help formulate and cultivate the infrastructure of corporate America. And then they went to go tell their children, hey, work hard, climb the corporate ladder, do everything you need to do, and everything will be promised to you. You'll be able to buy a house, you'll be able to take vacations, you'll be able to retire at a reasonable age.
To most of us, adulthood doesn't feel like freedom. It looks like a login screen at 6 a.m., a calendar invite at 10 p.m., a group chat that never sleeps. And are we going to talk about that salary that disappears before the month ends?
Nearly half of Gen Z runs out of money before the end of the month ends, and that's not just budgeting, that's just survival at that point. And don't get me started on student loan debt, because the average Gen Zer also has about $30K of student loan debt on top of all of that. We are spending more on essentials than any other previous generation, and wages just keep going down, and the cost of living just keeps going up.
A world where everything costs more, everyone expects more, and rest somehow feels like a crime. And the crazy part is, we are not even 30 yet.
I was talking to a 25-year-old woman who does some freelance work for us the other day, and she said to me, can you please make an Instagram reel about burnout? My friends and I are just so burnt out. And I just looked at her, I said, you're 25? And I said, and you're burnt out? She's just so burnt out. So I said, I don't want to sound like an oldster, But when I was your age, I worked 7 days a week, nonstop. And the word burnout never came to my mind. I love my work. This was what you did. You worked. We loved it. We all did it together. We would have worked more if we could have.
You should be loving your work, especially if you're a woman. This is what you wanted, right? You wanted to hear me roar, woman. You know what I'm saying? We can do it all. We can do it like a man. Remember when people were, well, y'all still have these conversations on this damn internet. We're saying that, you can get married and have a family and stay at home and have your kids. No, nobody want to do that. I can do it all by myself. I'm a grown woman. You're not going to tell me. We can do the same thing as a man. I'm a man. He's a man. Everybody's a man. Everybody's equal. Oh, it sounds like some things have changed around here.
And then she said a very interesting thing. She said, but you had hope. And I did have hope. We all did have hope. We believed that if you worked hard, you were rewarded for it.
So the question is not simply whether Gen Z is tired. Everyone gets tired. Of course, eventually. The deeper question is how so many people in their 20s reached a point where ambition feels less like excitement and more like survival. I mean, there is a strange emotional weight to being young right now. You are expected to dream big, but also be realistic. You are told to build a future, but most of your energy goes...
This dude is saying this like the rest of us didn't have to hear the same stuff.
...into surviving the present. You are told to rest, but only after you have earned it. Preferably after answering every email, fixing your finances, learning AI, healing your childhood, drinking more water, and becoming someone your LinkedIn network...
Well, what are they burnt out from? I want someone to tell me. What are they burnt out from? Because they got to work in order to live instead of being on the internet. I'm telling you, that's what it is. Social media, all of it. That's what they want to do. This new generation of social media people are burnt out because they have to actually go create a life instead of being on the damn internet. Wow, it's crazy.
Work can pretend to be inspired by, right? This is about a generation trying to understand why life feels so heavy before it has even properly begun.
Can you imagine the mental that millennials and Gen Zs are going through, that they've worked the past 5 years making $60,000, making $300,000 and having no savings, no investing, and actually more in debt?
Before burnout had a name, most of...
And let me just say again, these are the same people arguing about 50-50, and yet they're out here complaining about how much stuff costs. You don't want to get with anyone, you get to do it all on your own. This is the part that nobody seems to be saying, everybody, that the difference between them and us is that we typically partner together. Men used to, until they made them effeminate. Shout out to the men that are here, you sassy straights. Men are the people that are supposed to go work and go work hard. You got men up here whining and complaining about going to work because they're making men effeminate. That's the agenda. You can be A, B, C, D. You don't have to do anything. We want you to open up about your emotions and your feelings and talk to us like women. Now you got these women complaining. These young women complaining that there's too much work. Y'all chose the bear. Y'all don't want nothing to do with men. You done ran them out of the gym. You done ran them out of the bar. You done ran them away from dating. Now all of a sudden it's not right. It's not fair. So now you burn out. Now you can't afford life. Now you got the student loan debt. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah. Spoiled, honestly, is an understatement for these people. They are knowing AF.
Most of us were already being trained for it. Of course, no teacher stood in front of the class and said, "One day you will answer emails at midnight and call it ambition." Teachers are so honorable.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but again, just like I said yesterday, all these people think about is corporate America. My question is, why is it out of everything that's open in the world to do and that's available, the only thing they focus on is corporate America? Remember for the regulars where they used to say that women won't go, and yeah, I'm typically speaking about women, but women won't go and do something that's blue collarish. They only want to go work in corporate jobs where you go into the air conditioning in the summer, you go into the heat in the winter, and you stand around and you do whatever you do for your job, and you automatically just get promoted, and then you go to HR, all those different things. Gen Z, you don't have to work in corporate America. You don't have to work in an office. There's a whole wide world out here. But for some reason, the only thing they want to do is be inside of an office.
And of course, no parent, loving parent for that matter, looked at us doing homework and said, "Enjoy this because soon your hobbies will need a monetization strategy." It was more different than that. It came through the way life was always presented as preparation for the next stage. Elementary school was preparation for middle school. Middle school was preparation for high school. High school was preparation for college. College was preparation for the job market. The job market was preparation for stability. Stability was preparation for a better life. Every stage was treated like a waiting room for the next one. So we learned very early that the present was not really the point. The point was the future. Does this all sound familiar? Your grades mattered because of the future. Your choices mattered because of the future. Your discipline, your reputation, your attitude, your classes, your internships, your resume, your LinkedIn profile, even your ability to network without looking like you were begging for survival in business casual. All of it was supposed to add up to something. And you know what? For a while, that made sense. It gave the chaos direction. It made sacrifice feel useful. You could stay up late studying because it meant something. You could miss out on fun because it meant something. You could accept pressure because everyone kept saying it was shaping you into the kind of person who would one day have options. But then we arrived at the future everyone had been pointing toward, and it looked strangely unfinished.
I work a decent paying job. I love my job. I make good income. We have no kids, me and my fiance, and we're still barely scraping by. Our bills are paid, but we can't save any money. We can't go on vacation. I mean, we do little things here and there, but realistically, we don't really do anything. And we still live paycheck to paycheck.
And this is where Gen Z burnout becomes hard to explain to people who only see the surface.
When you are with 20, because I'm going to put her at late 20, she says she has a fiance, no kids, right? But maybe if you all were married and you had a kid, what vacations were y'all taking, Bueller? Were y'all going to Dubai like they want to do? Were y'all going over to Thailand and, you know, all these places that these people seem to want to go? Miami for the weekend, Miami, what else? To the Caribbean, anything else? Listen, Prime, at one point with one kid, both of us had 2 jobs. At one point with one kid, both of us had 2 jobs. And it wasn't no Uber Eats then. It wasn't any YouTube that I could think of at that time. So it was straight leave the house and go and work. These people just think everything is supposed to just magically just come together because allegedly somebody told them to. That's why I'm saying, like, when I hear my friend who's 53 years old did 50 hours of overtime, and as much as RBN works, as much as all these different men that are here work, and these young people with more energy don't want to do anything and saying that they're put upon, nah, I'm not buying it. And they can go and do Uber and Lyft and DoorDash and all those different things, be on this here YouTube, do all that type of stuff. They just want to complain, y'all. I'm sorry. They just want to complain. And they're supposed to be the smart ones now because they've been in the internet their whole lives, phones their whole lives, and they still complaining? Please.
Because from the outside, it looks like impatience. It looks like we want success too quickly. It looks like we are complaining before we have paid our dues. But inside, many of us are not angry because life requires effort. We are tired because the finish line keeps changing shape.
He said life requires effort. You think? You think?
The moment you think you have done enough to start your life, the world quietly adds another requirement, and another, and another. So when people say Gen Z is burnt out before 30, maybe part of it is because we were taught to spend our whole childhood preparing for arrival. Then we got here, and somehow we are still in the queue.
I actually think that it's insane that as adults, we have to ask other adults if it's okay that we take time off to live our own lives.
Why do you stop working at 5 p.m. every day?
What?
Did you hear that, Mess? Hold on a second.
Somehow, we are still in the queue.
I actually think that it's insane that as adults, we have to ask other adults if it's okay that we take time off to live our own lives.
Why do you stop working?
You don't. You can just go do your own thing. You can just go do your own thing and you don't have to ask anybody anything. If you never get started, you're never going to get to the point where whenever I want to take a day off, I just let my boss know, child, I'm taking a day off. But if you don't work, you never get there. Child, this is ridiculous. William John said Gen Z isn't built for doing physical work. Well, they need to get to it because it seems like that's what they need to be doing because corporate doesn't work, but all they do is focus on corporate for some reason. Wow, isn't it?
Working at 5 p.m. every day.
What?
You stop working at 5 every day, and I can see your status change.
Well, that's because my workday finishes at 5.
No one else signs off so early. I work until 9 p.m. most days.
Is there a concern with my work hours then? Do you want my shift to start and end a little bit later?
I just think being willing to work only 8 hours a day says a lot about your commitment to this company.
What do you mean?
Well, signing off at 5 will have long-term consequences. especially when it comes to promotion.
Chana, that lady sound crazy saying that. That lady sound crazy. Not the girl, but the one that we can't see. If that was real. If that was real. Because I don't know if that's real or not. But then if they over there recording conversations again, she ain't going to have to worry about it real soon anyway.
Nobody told us that work was about to enter every corner of life. It happened gradually, until the boundary between being at work and simply being alive started to disappear. Phones became normal. Email became portable.
Okay, then that could be true, but that lady talking about she recorded internal conversations inside of a job, and if she puts that out, she gonna be in trouble. That's all I'm saying. You can't be recording inside of companies, and then you just can't do that. You really just can't do that.
Group chats became work tools. Remote work made the office disappear into the house. Meetings turned into links. Links became calendar reminders. And reminders became notifications your nervous system learned to expect.
I can only handle so many meetings back to back until my brain literally just feels fried. I work from home Monday through Friday, so every single day I'm working from home. And my company just loves to schedule a bunch of meetings as if we don't have anything else to do with our time. Look at my hair. Like, you can tell I've just had enough. I'm ready to wrap it up. I'm ready to call it a day. But she wants to schedule me 10 more things to do. So, no.
Jobs really be having this, like, they really think that working is your entire life. Y'all having work events on the weekend and thinking I'm about to show up, talk about like a chili cook-off. I'm not eating no chili with y'all on a Saturday. Keep me out of that. I absolutely have a life. You want me to volunteer at work where I already work at? No. I can just fake laugh for hours and be irritated. Got me sitting at a table with HR who done tried to fire me 6 times. Absolutely not.
At some point, the workday lost its clean edge. It no longer ended when you left the building, because for a lot of people, there was no building anymore. The office became the laptop. The laptop sat on the same table where you ate.
Now they're complaining about the work from home, child. You cannot please the unpleasable, the unreasonable. Thank you. Shout out to Dr. Mahat for being a member for 9 months. I appreciate you, boo. He said, Messi, if the beta of this video is contagious, I'm finding a way to get that hospital bill to you. Don't be sending me nothing. This is wild. This is crazy, y'all.
That table was in the same room where you slept. And the phone you used to relax became the same device carrying your manager, your team, your clients, your deadlines, your bank alerts, your friends, your news, your entertainment, your anxiety, and your escape. So home stopped feeling completely like home, and work stopped feeling completely like work.
The hardest part about remote work is knowing when to stop working for the day. I always thought people were lying about that. It's like, okay, you're done working for the day. Like, just shut your laptop. It's not that hard. But now that I'm fully remote, I'm realizing there's so many situations where it's actually really hard. Like yesterday, my boss scheduled a meeting at 4:30 p.m. And first of all, the meeting was only supposed to be 4:30 to 5, and then ended up running over by about 35 minutes. So I didn't finish until like 5:35. And then in that meeting, she gave me multiple projects that I needed to work on, one of which was actually pretty urgent. She was like, okay, first thing tomorrow, like, you gotta start on this. I unfortunately have anxiety. So I'm like, if I know I'm gonna need to get this done first thing tomorrow morning, I might as well just like do it right now while it's still fresh in my brain from what we talked about in the meeting. And that's the other thing, is that I'm still pretty new in this role. So it's like, whenever we talk about a project I need to work on, I want to start it right away while the details are still like fresh in my mind. And then it's like with the project from yesterday, once I started working on it, I was like, oh, it's actually not going to take me that long, so I should just finish it all right now so that I don't have to worry about it tomorrow morning. So I ended up spending like another hour and a half on it, and then was finished for the day. So I guess now that I'm doing it, I understand why it's hard to not have a commute, like not have a distinction between home and work. So that's what I'm going to try to work on going forward, like how to create that distinction and just like turn my brain off.
The strange part is that much of this was sold to us as freedom. Remote work promised flexibility. Digital tools promised connection. Fast communication promised efficiency. And to be fair, some of it really did help. Remote work saved people from long commutes. It gave people more options. It made work more accessible for some. It allowed people to work from places that were...
You can't please the unpleasable. You just cannot please the unpleasable. You get to work from home. You don't have to work in the traffic. This is the best part about this job, is being able to be home 3 days a week, because there's people now that are going in 5 days. I'm going to be done before the requirement for 5 days working, because I'm not doing that anymore. But you also got to put in a plan for stuff like that. You can't just be like, whoa, no, I'm just going to do what I want. These people, whoever keeps saying that the men are beta, I agree. The effeminate sounding men, right? Effeminate sounding men, and still only talking about corporate America. AR, thank you for the hiding, Jules. I appreciate you. That's crazy. One True says, I work remote and I close my shift when I want to. Child, and this ninja here is stupid. Listen, 3 o'clock is my cutoff time every day. My boss said freaking yesterday, sent out a meeting at 3 to 3:30. I politely declined it and said I will not be here. See, this is the other thing with these people. They can't do nothing like that. But then again, they don't get far enough to be able to do anything like that. What is wrong with saying no? You can't say it all the time. But I leave at 3. I sign on about 7:30 every day, and I'm salary. So it's salary employment. It's not like it's hourly wage. These people probably don't understand that either. I'm telling you, these people don't look into anything. They be over here listening to other people on TikTok. Not Gen Z men are the new women. They are. Isn't that what CGA said the other day? We know what the agenda is, and it's so working. It is so working. And then these women will start to complain in their 30s, y'all, because that's what it usually happens, about there's no men available while they're sitting here complaining with them over crap about, I gotta work 8 hours a day.
Were not fluorescent lit boxes with one sad office plant fighting for its life. But for young workers still trying to prove themselves, flexibility could also turn into a trap. If you can work from anywhere, some jobs slowly begin to expect you to work from everywhere. From bed, from taxis, from dinner, from family gatherings, from your phone while pretending to watch a movie. Because the work is not always visible, you start performing availability instead. You reply quickly so people know you are serious. You stay online so nobody thinks you are slacking. You answer after hours because you are new, junior, replaceable, or simply scared of being misunderstood. And after a while, you stop asking whether this is normal. You just adapt, which is basically adulthood's favorite scam.
The employee who responds to emails at 11 p.m., works through lunch, never uses PTO, always available, always on, not because the work actually requires it, but because the performance requires it. They're performing dedication, commitment, indispensability. They're performing the role of invaluable team member because somewhere along the way, they internalize the belief that their value is their output, their worth is their availability. Underneath,
they want to get promoted also, and they want more money. Okay, that's why you do that mess. That's why you do that mess. That's why I got out of it, because I didn't want to do it no more, because I didn't care. I'm not doing this. So you got to make the choice, but you still got to go and do the actual work.
The fear that if they slow down, if they set boundaries, if they're unavailable, even for a moment, people will realize they're replaceable. The cost? Burnout that becomes a badge of honor.
This is the part of the conversation where we agree to disagree.
You haven't even worked long enough to be burnt out. This is what I don't understand. These people have not worked long enough to be burnt out. I don't understand. This is wild, y'all. They have not even worked long enough. You can't even get the job, or you can get the job, but you can't even get to the job because you can't even put paperwork together. You can't get something notarized. You can't, figure out a way to politely say, my day ends at this time, but thank you. I'll be sure to get up to date when I come in the morning. Ain't no job ever said, oh, you got to answer calls. No, I'm lying. I did have one where I had to get on at 2 a.m. because Asia is 8 hours behind, I believe. And I worked worldwide. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to keep doing this. So I'm home. I got to get up. I got to get on. Then I got to get up and go to work. There was a time. And I said, well, if I'm getting up to do this at this time, it comes out the rest of my workday. So I see y'all when I get there. You're not going to work me to death.
When Gen Z talks about burnout, a lot of people hear it as a complaint about effort. They assume young workers want success without struggle, comfort without sacrifice, and flexibility without responsibility. And yes, sometimes the internet makes it easy to dismiss the whole thing. Burnout gets used for everything now. A hard week, a boring meeting, a stressful deadline, a normal part of becoming an adult. So yes, we should be honest. The language can get exaggerated. But stopping there misses the bigger story. Burnout is not only spreading because people became...
You know what, Prince? They're not trying to hear that. They're too focused on CEOs and people who actually own something having so much money. While listening to, I think, what is his name? Bernie Sanders and Pocahontas, always forget her name, tell them as millionaires, billionaires maybe even, that they can't do it and it's not fair. They just want to listen to whatever it is that feeds into their foolishness.
Weaker. It is spreading because work is carrying more pressure than it used to.
Okay, Asia's ahead of us. Well, whatever it was, I had to get up at about 1 and 2 in the morning sometimes to take some stupid calls. I don't know why they thought I was ready for a call. I did it. But then, yes, Elizabeth Warren. Then after a while, I was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to keep doing this. No, thank you. No, thank you.
A job is no longer just a job. It has become the thing standing between you and rent, debt, food, transport, family support, healthcare, future plans. That changes the emotional weight of everything.
I can't afford to go to school and finish my associate's degree even, which that's not going to get me anywhere because people with masters are having trouble getting jobs. I can't afford to leave these jobs that treat me terribly.
Why are these people creating these businesses that they all own, Bueller? And you notice that there's a lot of women on here for the most part complaining. Why are they not happy? Isn't this what they wanted? Isn't this I am woman, hear me roar, people? No man gonna tell me what to do. These people don't want to get married. They don't want to couple up. They don't want to combine salaries. They don't want to get married. They don't want to have a family together. They don't want to buy a home together. I thought that this is what they wanted. Yes, selling lashes is a side hustle. It is a side hustle. But at the same time, if they do it right, I'm sure they can make a lot of money because there's a lot of lashes. And now that little boys are wearing lashes, then it could be a thing. I'm just saying. Yes, they wanted equality. They got it. And now they're complaining. How? Goodbye, Derwin. They gonna marry themselves at 50. They probably will. I agree with you on that. I'm still tripping off of that damn video, child. These people are supposed to be strong and independent. There's a lot of women complaining. But you see, they're complaining about their parents and they're not complaining about the feminism part of it. Not the feminism part of it that told you could do anything, sis. You got this. You equal to a man. Anything a man can do, you can do better. You know, men work other places besides corporate America. A lot of other places besides corporate America.
Because I have bills to pay. I can't, if I don't have a job, then I can't pay the few bills I have.
Modern work also asks for more than labor. It asks for enthusiasm, passion, ownership, culture fit, emotional control, constant communication, and the ability to care deeply about a company that may still cut you loose when the numbers stop looking right. Which is a fascinating arrangement. You are supposed to treat the company like family, right up until the family needs to restructure. That is hard to sustain when young workers have watched layoffs happen over video calls, seen colleagues disappear from Slack overnight, and learned that loyalty does not always protect you.
Because here's the thing, everybody at my job has been acting very strange for the past 2 weeks. Let me paint the picture for you. We're having closed door meetings, which never happens. The vibe's completely off. And our CFO, who has been with the company for literally the start of the company, just up and left, disappeared. No notice, no goodbye, nothing. I'm going to call up the manager, but I ended up becoming very silent because I just ran out of words to give. Right as I found a way to sneakily get off of this meeting, our manager says the term budget cuts. And I was like, that's funny because they just hired all of these individuals who are getting paid significantly more than the people who have been working at this company for years. So of course, as I started recording with the playback staff, I needed receipts. Come to find out, they're about to lay off an entire department.
So when young people say they feel disposable, that is not always entitlement. Sometimes it is pattern recognition. A very depressing pattern, but still pattern recognition. A burnt out person can still answer emails, join meetings, laugh at jokes, and say, yeah, I'm good, in the exact tone that makes people stop asking questions. That is what makes it dangerous. When someone looks at you, nothing looks serious enough. You are still functioning, so people assume you are fine. You are still showing up, so the system keeps asking for more. You are not collapsing in a visible way, so even you start doubting whether the exhaustion is real. But inside, something begins to shrink. Friendship starts to feel like another place where you have to perform energy. The things that used to make you feel alive begin to feel like tasks. Cooking becomes admin. Cleaning becomes admin. Texting back becomes emotional project management.
Texting back is emotional project management. Goodbye. These people just make shit up. Listen, I still have to figure this out. The WNBA about to let ex-NBA players join the league. Oh my God. Well, they can get more views that way. I'm still not watching it though.
Exercising becomes another performance goal. Calling home becomes something you keep postponing because you do not have the strength to sound okay.
Remote work has ruined my social life, and I don't think enough people talk about it. I used to work in an office, and I had friends there. I made good friends. I was never someone who had a big friend group, but I was people to talk to. But now working from home, I realize that the person I talk to the most is my cat. And I like not commuting. I like working from home. I don't love my job, which also makes it a little more difficult, especially now that I realize all I did was leave my house to go to the gym and grocery shop. So I would like to know how adults make friends. I'm 25. How do adults make friends when you work from home, even when you don't, especially when you don't live in a big city?
Burnout does not only make you tired, it changes the way you see yourself. You start questioning your own character. Maybe you are lazy. Maybe you are ungrateful.
Yes.
Maybe you chose the wrong career.
Yes.
Maybe adulthood has always been this hard, and everyone else is just better at pretending they are okay, which, honestly, does seem to be the main qualification. That is why the Gen
Yes, you got it. You got it. Exactly.
Z is soft criticism lands in such a complicated place. Part of you wants to reject it immediately. Another part of you secretly fears they might be right. But then you look around and realize this is not one person failing quietly in their room. It is millions of people using the same language for the same feeling. That is when burnout stops looking like a personal weakness and starts looking like a pattern.
It's interesting how third spaces are disappearing. We've become more reliant on the internet to connect, to organize, to share information. But the internet is quasi-public infrastructure, meaning it's publicly accessible but privately run. The algorithm that sorts us into our digital neighborhood operates not out of public good, but private interest for a profit. Now the internet keeps us distracted, entertained. It's an opiate. But what if it also serves to keep us contained? People are saying we're not angry enough. Nothing is happening in real life. Where is the change? It's all here, online, kept safely away from those actually making these decisions. The internet is good for communicating, for spreading awareness. But remember that we only have a finite amount of rage. And when that angry pressure is alleviated by posting here about it, it will never translate into the real world. And that's entirely by design.
Still, I do not think we can talk about burnout honestly if we only talk about the system. Bad managers matter. Low salaries matter. Corporate culture matters. Technology matters. The economy matters. But if every part of the problem lives outside us, then every solution has to come from outside us too. That leaves us powerless, waiting for someone in a boardroom to develop empathy, which historically has not been a fast-moving department. Some of our exhaustion comes from work, but some of it comes from the way we consume life. We wake up and immediately put other people's thoughts into our heads. During breaks, we scroll through success, beauty, wealth, sadness, outrage, politics, relationship advice, career advice, money advice.
So do they not want to be alive? I mean, I'm not suggesting anything, but do these people not want to be alive? It's like no matter what it is, there's a complaint. It doesn't matter what it is, it's a complaint. I don't get it. I don't get it. Oh my God, I gotta wake up, it's a problem. Oh my God, I gotta cook, it's a problem. Oh my God, I gotta clean, it's a problem. It's a problem. It's a problem.
And strangers turning their lives into content.
You keep saying that you're burnt out, but then you doom scroll to cope with it, and I don't think you actually know what it means. Burnout is cognitive overload. Cognitive overload leads to cognitive lag, which leads to physical fatigue. I need you to understand this. Burnout is not just getting tired.
Which crazy movie lady does she look like? She looks like she belongs in a crazy movie lady. I can't think of what it is. Somebody's baby. Rosemary's Baby, is that it?
I don't think you actually know what it means. Burnout is cognitive overload. Cognitive overload leads to cognitive lag, which leads to physical fatigue. I need you to understand this. Burnout is not—
Look at how much she's caring for that dog, though.
Not just getting tired. Getting tired is from physical exhaustion, which can then lead to cognitive lag. Burnout is when you have too many things going on in your brain at once. So it's not just from working too much. It's also from being on social media too much. It's from consuming too much information. It's from starting thoughts and then not completing them. Every time we have an idea, a thought, we open a brain loop. And if we don't close it, those brain loops continue to circle back and send information and continue to try to problem solve while we're not even consciously thinking about it.
By the end of the day, our bodies may—
That dog is tired of listening to her voice.
have left work, but our minds are still being chased by information.
Poor Fido. Oh, your minds are being, whatever he said for information. Get off the internet. Nah, I can't do that. You gotta see what's going on the top.
It means our nervous systems are living inside a 24-hour emergency broadcast. So yes, companies need to respect time. Managers need to stop confusing urgency with importance. Salaries need to match reality. Workloads need to be honest.
Look at how the job has to make all of the changes. You hear this, right? But the actual person and what they got going on in real life does not have to change. The job has to change for the employee, but the employee's life doesn't have to change at all. You can't make it up. Other people might not hear that, but this is what I'm hearing. The job has to take into consideration that you gotta go to your mama's house. The job has to take into consideration that you didn't get enough sleep last night. The job has to take into consideration that you gotta go take food to Fido so he can be okay all day. The job gotta do this. The job gotta do that. This shit is so unrealistic. This is crazy. Derwin, I appreciate you. He says, damn, oh my God, I got my dream job. The problem is I got to do it. There you go. You know what? That might be the title. Thank you for that. That could be a title. This is wild stuff.
But we also have to ask whether we have forgotten how to be unreachable, whether we know how to be bored without panicking, whether we can rest without documenting it. Maybe burnout is not proof that Gen Z is weak. Maybe it is a warning signal, a sign that something about the way we are working, living, comparing, communicating, and measuring ourselves has become too much. And the answer cannot be fake simplicity. Not everyone can quit their job. Not everyone can fully log off. Not everyone can take 6 months away to find themselves while drinking iced coffee in a country with better rent prices and suspiciously good Wi-Fi. Some people are supporting families. Some people are one emergency away from debt. Some people are doing what they have to do because survival comes before meaning, even if LinkedIn would prefer we call it a season of growth.
Ask yourself, what am I tolerating that I already know I shouldn't be?
don't quit your job and blow up your whole life. Just find the leak. That conversation you keep dodging, the boundary you keep softening, the role you stay in because leaving would make things awkward. Burnout starts when your mouth keeps agreeing to things that your spirit has already rejected. And until those two tell the same story, no amount of self-care will ever fix it.
So maybe the goal is not to stop working hard. Maybe the goal is to stop disappearing inside the work. To notice when ambition has turned into fear, when availability has become self-erasure, when your phone is no longer a tool, but a leash with a very sleek user interface. To notice when what you call discipline is actually panic, pretending to have a 5-year plan.
Such bullshit.
Because work matters. It can give dignity, structure, growth, money, confidence, and purpose. But it cannot be the whole story. A career cannot replace community. It cannot replace rest. It cannot replace friendship, family, faith, play, or the quiet parts of life that do not need to be useful to be meaningful.
If you go back to the 50s and 60s, you were in the bowling league and you made friends there. You attended church. You got your sense of belonging from faith. You did actually have barbecues with your neighbors, and work was the place that you worked and you made a living, and you didn't ask more. The only thing, the relationship to work was, I'll be loyal to you and you'll be loyal to me. I'll give you my whole career and you take care of me, and I'll get a gold watch at the end. And so over the course of time, church membership declined, the bowling leagues disappeared. We don't have barbecues with our neighbors anymore. And so what we started asking work to fill all the gaps. We said, okay, work, I want my friendships, I want my relationships at work, I want my social life at work, I want a sense of purpose and belonging at work. Oh, and by the way, now you have to agree with my politics as well, right? Oh, and no loyalty to you, and no loyalty, just...
So now the work has to be everything, and then tell it what to do too.
From me, right? There's no loyalty either way. And so we put massive amounts of pressure on work that is impossible.
Maybe that is what a lot of us are grieving. Not just free time. A life where every part of us does not have to become productive. So if you feel burnt out before...
a life where part of us doesn't always have to be productive. Ciao.
30, I do not think it means you are broken. I do not think it means you are lazy. I do not think it means you are weak. But I also do not think we can meme our way out of it. At some point, we have to tell the truth about the lives we are building. What work is costing us. What success is asking from us. What we are pretending not to feel. And what kind of future we are willing to protect before we become too tired to imagine one.
Child, I think y'all are already there. I got no empathy and no sympathy whatsoever. None. Child, these people crazy. Child, these people are crazy, but they like it. I love it. So that's the Tuesday vision for Generation Z, the laziest generation ever, making excuses on a daily basis, talking about what they will and will not do while owning absolutely nothing, blaming everyone else, and finding a way to get some people to have empathy and sympathy for them. I don't know what the heck happened. I don't know where it transitioned at, but if you don't fish, you don't eat, however that goes, that saying goes, I guess y'all just won't eat, and you can just keep being on this internet whining and complaining. Yeah, it's cry you. If it's life. If you want a better one, you work hard for it, period. Yeah, and stop thinking about corporations. I'm telling you, these people are obsessed with corporations, consumerism, capitalism, all the C's. And yet they listen to Fool's Fool here on the damn TikTok. Anyway, gotta get to work because it's not going to work itself, and I'm not trying to get fired today, maybe tomorrow. Shout out to all of y'all, though, for hanging in there. I appreciate you. Hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new. Thank you to everyone that donated. Shout out to the stream sponsor, AR Smitty. I appreciate you, boo. I'll be back later on tonight. We have to cover Nolan Wells because the lawyer for the boys is speaking out, and ain't no way we're not going to talk about that. All right, I appreciate, look out for that, turn on the notifications. I appreciate y'all. Hopefully I see you later. I see you all in the next one.